What about now? What about now? What about now? No, it doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. Is this actually now working? Can this doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Fucking stupid. So I've got to do this on every single one of my... Can you hear me? I presume this is working. What a load of absolute shite. Sorry for swearing. Look, if any of you have ever streamed before or tried to stream, you'll know that if you don't do it that often, it can be quite challenging. But apparently I've got to add an audio input capture on every single one of these screens. I didn't know I was supposed to do that, right? Who told me to do that? I don't... Oi, language boy. I'm streaming with OBS, Jara. Indeed, I am. But I'm not really a streamer. I'm more of a you know... suppose YouTuber, but YouTubers stream, don't they? Anyway, who cares? Let me just go through these settings. So we check these work. I presume, yeah. So every time I've just got to add an audio input capture. I don't really know why. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. So every time I change a window now, the audio will be gone until I add it back. Clearly, I'm getting something wrong. I don't know. I don't know what it is. That should just work. I don't really get it. Like, can you hear me now? Is this still working? Just let me know if this isn't working. Sorry about all of this. All right, it's all working. Okay, well, don't worry, everyone. We're here. Okay, look, you can tell I'm an absolute noob. I don't care, right? But it's working. So that's all good. Let us begin the stream a little bit later than I planned, but it doesn't matter. We are here. So what is the point of the stream? Well, you know, it's a genuine deadline stream, right? And I just want to like answer some questions, run through my team, what I'm doing, and hear your guys' thoughts as to what you're doing with your teams. I think what I'll do first is just build my current team and get your guys' thoughts on it. And then we'll do, I want to for you to rate it. Let's see how it rates on the My Team tool. Bonjour, who says copy and paste FC. I really thought you were going to be original. I've not even put a team in yet. All right, let me put a team in first. Okay. And then you guys can give me your thoughts. So I don't think this team is going to change, right? It's been locked in pretty much since last night. If you saw the video on the channel this morning, it might be quite similar to that. If you haven't seen it, I will run through it quickly. I actually need to, what I do need to genuinely check is if I have actually put this team in correctly on the actual app, like on FPL, the website, because I haven't spent any time on that website at all, because I think it's been pretty terrible, to be honest. This is a much nicer way of building an app, building a team. Sanchez is in goal. Dubravka is the backup. Let me try to see if I can remember everyone. I've gone with a double Forest defense. I don't think any of these players are going to change before the deadline, to be honest. Porro is in reluctantly, but I think he's just a bit too good. And what's his ownership these days? 20%. It's pretty great. They're still pretty low. Like players like Murillo, how is he 7% owned, by the way? Like we've been going on about it all preseason. This guy I think is going to be an absolute monster, and he's still at just 7%. No, I do like it. I do like it. I just at the start of preseason, I didn't like the idea of Tottenham defense, but then, and I still don't like the idea of a double up. By the way, I think that's a bridge too far for me. But going with Porro, I think is good. Like they do look better defensively. I saw what Spence said as well about Frank, and he was like, Yeah, we're sort of going defense first at the start of this season. We're going to use like that sort of methodology of clean sheets first, back to basics, which they need to do because let's be honest, last year their defense was an absolute shambles. I was quite a big fan of Ange, and then after he's been sacked, I've sort of had a word with myself and realized he was a bad manager. What was he doing? Where did they come? 17th. That is shocking. Where did they go? 16th or something? That is shockingly bad. And they've got a good squad. I mean, their defense was an absolute disgrace. I know they had injuries. I don't really care. Like, you work around injuries. They still had better players than other teams. Porro's in because I think he's going to be on set pieces, free kicks. He'll play in a back five against better teams. Yeah. If their defense is going to be better, then why not go for Porro? Anderson is in as a 4.5. I've really gone. I've thought long and hard about this position. Right. I've seen a few comments about Tosin. I would love to put Tosin in. I really would. But the problem with him is that I can't guarantee that he is going to stay in the team long term because we have, what price is Hato? 5 million, right? He's a new signing. No sound, says Simon Clydesdale. I hope that's a meme. I think we're okay. But so let me know if there is sound. There should be sound, but I'm now scarred. Okay, you can hear me good. Am I loud enough? Is the volume good? Should be all right. Simon, you little troll. Don't do this to me. Anyway, the problem with Tosin is this guy could come into the team at any moment, I think. Now, I think it's unlikely early on, but these players, I'm like Anderson, I don't ever want to use a transfer on Anderson. He is staying to a wild card like 9 seasons out of 10 until if something really bad happened and I had to make a transfer on him, even if he was injured, I'd rather not use a transfer on him. That's the role of that sort of 4.5 like backup defender. You just don't want to use transfers on. You don't want to use transfers up here, not really back here. Maybe on like a Munoz for Porro after a few game weeks, not on an Anderson. So I can't 100% say that Tosin is going to stay in the team. I also think it makes Cucurella a worse pick, by the way, just based on the comments of who was it? Yeah, Maresca. So he was saying that Colwill was the one who could play in the middle of like the back three. I think this is what he was saying when we had the ball. So it'd be a back four, and then one of the fullbacks would push up, and it would make it into a back three. And he was saying that Colwill was very good at being that sort of centre back, and Tosin is the only other one who can now do that, which is a good thing for Tosin's minutes, I suppose. But it does mean that Cucurella, I think, will then be that left centre back more than he will be going forward, because if Tosin is the centre back and he's playing on the left side where Colwill was, Cucurella has to be that left centre back. Chalobah, I assume it will be that right centre back, and then Gusto, I imagine, or maybe James, but I think probably Gusto will be the one that actually gets forward. So I think it makes, yeah. Enzo said only Tosin can do what Levi does exactly, which I suppose is good for Tosin. I think it's bad for Cucurella because I think he'll be asked to play a little bit deeper. Anyway, Anderson's in. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. What are you thinking with 4.5 defenders? I think there are absolutely loads, right? Let me do like some comparisons here. Let me see if I do like Anderson, Joachim Anderson, and let's do Richards, who I was close with. It's been sort of between those two for me. Let's go with defenders here. If you don't know what I'm doing, this is on our website, by the way. Do it. It's great to compare. So this is per start. Let's do per start. This is last year. Should we add another player? Who's another 4.5? The Kuiper I can't do because we don't have the stats on, but I do like him. Dorgu and Diouf. Yeah, they're good options. Richards rotates well with my double Spurs defense, says Jara. Yeah, he's a good pick. Let's do Wan-Bissaka. I like that. I'm not going to pick Wan-Bissaka, but I just want to see. Why can't... Is he not coming up? Wan. There we go. Wan. Okay, maybe... All right, let's just do these two first. This is last year. Richards got a lot more points. In terms of expected cleans, Anderson was high. Like as high as Richards, which is kind of what I was saying in the videos. it's just sloppy errors from Fulham that have caused an issue there. Clean sheets, look at that. I mean, that is a big difference. Baseline BPS, good. Look at that for a heat map, really important. I mean, really important. The actual important thing that I want to look at is the defending key stats here, defending from last year. Anderson, that's not Anderson. Where is Anderson? Let's do defenders. Right, Anderson. What's going on with this? Oh, let me sort it by defensive contributions. Anderson's at the bottom here. Richards isn't as high as him, but if we do it per appearance instead, let's do per start, then Richards might come into the equation. He doesn't still, but that's because there's some players that, let's do per 90. Well, I don't know, because I want to have it as hide low minutes players. Exactly, that's exactly what I wanted. Anderson's down there at 0.87 defensive contribution points per game, which is good. It's really good. Am I going to go for Agbadou? I don't really want to go for a Wolves player. Lacroix is good, but it's too much. Murillo's there. And then he's not in the league. He's not in the league. He's not in the league. And we all know about Tarkovsky. Konza, look at Konza, right? Konza's still great. But let's do total last year. He got 2 defensive contribution points. Like, he hit it once. I know Villa are a better team and they're a better defense than Fulham and Palace. But that is you are pretty much immediately saying I'm gonna lose 30 points over another 4.5 defender if you go with Konza. And I just don't really think I'm willing to do that. You're just immediately sacrificing on average 1 point per game across the season. I know we don't play it across the season, but whatever. Can you search Richards? Yes, let's have a look at Richards. I have been talking about him. So he did well last year. I think the thing with him is he wasn't always in the team, which is why I was trying to do per start or whatever. All right, so per start, he got 0.73 defensive contribution points per game, which is good. And he was expected to get actually a few more. So you can expect from him about 9 CBITs per game, just below what you need, 10. But that's strong. Let's have a look at Wan-Bissaka. He doesn't exist. Well, that is a real shame. Why am I struggling to get him in? 7.3, quite a way down. Van der Ven. Keep asking me, by the way, if you want any of these. If you want to look at anyone, does he not exist either? Did I put in his name wrong? What's his name? Ven. Where is he? Mickey. Does he just not exist? Let's do Spurs. Why is he not here? Did he not? Right, for some reason he's not. Oh, yeah, good point. See, that's why I need you guys in the chat. Right, he's down here. 5.33. Yeah, but this doesn't matter. This doesn't actually matter because it's a completely different team. And that's the thing with these players. The Tottenham defenders especially. You cannot use last year's data with them. Romero, I suppose that's actually all right given how they played. I don't know. It'll be different, won't it? I think it'll be different this year. So you can't really use the historical data too much. I tell you what it is, Joshua. It's tough because I'm conscious of speaking, and then I'm also not sure what I'm doing. Let's go back to my team. I'll finish my team, and then we can get into everyone's thoughts. This is not my team. Just want to make that abundantly clear. This is actually my exact team. Let's just do this. It's much easier. 97%, by the way. That's gone up. I think I've gained an extra few predicted points here. So this is my team as it stands, and that is my exact bench order as well. What do you think in the comments? Now, if you guys know me and how I play the game, I am a bit templatey, and I don't care what you have to say about that. If you want to go template at the start of the season, that is the time to do it, I think, because you can't lose FPL. And you know that whatever happens, you're not going to be so far behind. Then, when we get more knowledge about the actual game this season and what's going on, and yeah, maybe where to find more of an edge, then you can use like your experience or your like know-how, or use Fantasy Football Hub, for example, to actually gain more of an edge and put it into practice. But I think early on, I'm willing to accept I don't know loads about how the season's going to play out. And I think that's fine. I think like if you really think that something is going to happen, or Reijnders, for example, is going to 100% be in the team and he's going to be playing as an 8 and not a 6, then put him in over Anderson. I don't know that, so I'm happy to like be boring, go for Anderson. Saar versus Ndai. I mean, that is just a really tough one. That I've changed my mind on that a lot over the course of preseason. I still don't know the right answer. I've gone with Saar because I saw Adam Hopcroft, formerly of the Green Arrow podcast, tweet that Saar, I think, was something like, I think he was 3rd for big chances among all midfielders last year, which it sounds like a ridiculous stat. Let me see if I can find this actually. If we go for midfielders, home and away, last season, let's go for goal threat or something. And let's do per 90. I know, because, yeah, hide low mins players. Salah's at the top. I don't know. I mean, this might not be a legit. It was something like that. I can't find it right now. Salah you'd expect to be at the top. It's assorted by goals. Let's do expected goals. I want to find... See, I'm not very good with this. Big chances. Okay. He's not 3rd. But he is high. This is big chances per 90. So Salah's getting like almost a big chance per game. So we've got Salah, Jota. I mean, look at that, by the way. 1.43. I mean, he was some FPL player, Jota, I've got to say. Salah, Diaz has obviously left the league. Madueke, new club. Schmodik's left the league. Dango, new club. Then we get to Saar, right? So this is pretty impressive. He's at 0.76 big chances per 90. Where's Ndai? And this isn't like, you know, it's how you use these stats. He's at 0.37. I don't know if this actually includes penalties or not. Non-penalty XG, 0.17. What was Saar's last year? 0.36. That is a big difference. However, Ndai we expect to be on penalties. So there we go. What was actually, yeah. So that with penalties, it brought him up to 0.23. So did he get 1 or 2 pens? I can't actually remember. I don't know. Yeah, we probably should remove Jota, but I mean, he did play last year, and there's no need to remove him. I don't think. Like he was an absolute legend, and I think, like, to be honest, I think it just shows how good of an FPL player and how important he was in our teams, which is just nice that he's top of a list like that. It's just cool. Christian wants to see Damsgaard. What do you want to see with Damsgaard? By the way, guys, if you want to like see any players or a player, if I miss your message or something, then the link to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub is down below. We've got like 3 hours till a deadline. If you haven't signed up yet, you need to. You really need to. I'll go full cam for this. Every time, by the way, we get a sign up on this stream, I'll give you guys a little shout out. I don't know the exact names of people that have signed up, and I can't really say for sort of, you know, privacy reasons, but I get a notification every time we get a sign up. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description, and I will also put it in the chat as well, and I'll pin it in the chat just in case you haven't done it already. If you haven't done it already, then you are running out of time, is all I will say. Let me just grab the link quickly. It should be top line of the description. But yeah. How's everyone doing? Are people's teams locked in? What are people thinking? How close are we to being locked in? I think I'm locked. I'll finish talking about my team, and then we'll get some of your guys' thoughts. I'm also going to try and get a few guests on the chat on this stream as well, just 'cause I think that'll be fun. Some people that you may know from Fantasy Football Hub. Cola, you're locked and you feel like a psycho for having Marmoush. Yeah. I don't know. Marmoush, I don't know. He's a fun pick. And I can't say too many bad words about him as a player. He's a great player, but I just don't know if it's just not a bit too risky. Is he 100% nailed to play the majority of games? He was last season. He really was last season. But I don't know, between him and Wirtz, I think I'll just go Wirtz. But again, that's sort of the type of manager I am, which is a little bit boring. But there we go. Is Cherky being slept on? That's the same thing. I don't think he is, because I don't know if he's going to start every game. In fact, he won't start every game. With him, I'm happy to say he won't start every game. Why ignore Kadood? I don't know, dude. I've gone with Saar again. That's just sort of the reason that, like, how I play the game. It's a bit more boring, but it's just how I play. I know what I'm going to get with Saar and Kudus as well. The thing with Kudus, it was good to see that Richarlison came off before Kudus, and quite a long way before. Because I do expect Solanke to start just over Richarlison. Well, I don't know about that. Even that's close, isn't it? I don't like like those sort of decisions where you're not 100% sure if someone's going to start or not. I think you just go with the person that you know is going to start. You can always jump on these players later down the line, I think. Right. There's the link. I'm going to pin it. Is that pinned? There we go. Right. If you haven't signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, you need to sign up now. It's 50% off. It's only going to be 50% off for I don't know how much longer. Not very long. The deadline's in 3 hours. If you want to get your team rated and see if it's good or not, you just need to get it done. We've got, like, how many of you watching this? Over 1,000, roughly. So if you haven't done it yet, and it's 3 hours out till deadline, and you're not sure what you're going to do with your team, just go and get it done. Let's go back to my team on screen, and you can see how well this team is doing. 97%, 68.7 predicted points. Can you guys beat that? I want to know, actually. Get your comments in the live chat. What's your team rating currently? Click the link in the description or in the pinned comment and go and get your team rated while you're watching this. Come back to me and let me know what your team is rated. Right, 97%, 98%. Sorry about that click. 97, 87 says Devendra. That could be improved, I think. Max is 99 and 96 at the moment. Or is that depending if you change one or two players? I see. Yeah. 91, Brandon. It's okay. It's okay. Mine was 91 for a long time. I didn't hate my 91. Katie's on 100%. Really? I don't think I've actually seen 100%. Oscar's on 100% as well. 71 predicted points. 99% team rating and 96% for this game week. That's very good. That's very strong. Matthew says those percentages mean squat. You can see it like that. You really can. I genuinely don't see it like that. I see this as a very useful tool to be able to predict based on sort of like models, algorithms, etc. Love it or hate it, it's a big part of the game right now. How your team is going to do. Yes, it's only a prediction, and there are reasons, for example, why I'm going with Wirtz over Bruno, despite the fact that Bruno is, well, that's not a good example. Forwards, I'm going with Joao Pedro over Mateta, despite the fact that Mateta is predicted to score 3 more points than Joao Pedro. So I know I'm going against the predictors there, but I'm okay with that. I think it just sort of lets you know if you're doing the right sort of thing or not. Like, if you're sitting here with an 81% team rating, I think you need to have a look at your team. If you're 95-ish plus, then yeah. James says, need some help. I'm bench boosting. Is there anywhere I can share a screenshot of my team? Not on this live stream, but just do it on here. Like if I reset my team here, you see this button? You can import your team from an FPL screenshot. Just do that, and then it will get your team rated in seconds. It's very, very simple. Just click the link in the pinned comment. It's the easiest thing ever. You can do that for free, by the way. And then if you want to sign up after that, then you can go for it. Whilst I was talking, we had 2 people sign up. Thank you very much, guys. You're not going to regret it. It's like the price of a coffee each month to get your team rated. I want my team back, so we can have a look at the AI recommended transfers and see if anything can be changed. Right, let me click optimize down here. Let's have a look at these recommendations, because see, look at that, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, I knew this was going to be the recommendation because Mateta's predicted to score more points. Wakas, look at this. Mateta or Joao Pedro, you ask. There's the answer. However, I'm not going with it. And I know in my heart of hearts that Mateta probably is a better pick than Pedro. He is more nailed on he's definitely more nailed on for playing 90 minutes. He's on penalties, which Joao Pedro almost definitely isn't. I don't love the Palace fixtures. Let's see if I do make this transfer. Let's see what it does to my team rating. 98%. So it goes up. Not by a lot, but Mateta is predicted to score more points. Chelsea away. We don't have Colwill. They play on the counter. That's a hard game for us. I'm a Chelsea fan, by the way. Forest at home. Decent fixture. Villa away. Similar. Play on the counter. Sunderland at home. Doesn't get much better than that. West Ham away. Good fixture. So arguably, depending on how you want to look at it, out of the first 5 games, like, they're all good from an attacking point of view. And I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to like big up Mateta. I do think those 2 away games actually suit him and players like Salah. One of the main reasons I'm not going for him, by the way, is because I have Salah already and I don't really want to double up on Palace. But if you don't have Salah, I do think I would probably lean for Mateta over Joao Pedro. The problem with him is that he could just go off at any moment. So I don't know if I'm willing to bet against that. Look at that ownership. Look at that ownership. Why am I not seeing any Cherkies is a question. And I've seen his name mentioned a lot. I will tell you why. Because of this. 15 predicted points he is predicted to score over the first 4 game weeks. Let's see when we get to him. So this is how many players. We have 11 players per slide here. So he's not in the top 11. Not in the top 22. Not in the top 33. Not in the top 44. There's Damsgaard, by the way. There he is. He's the 46th highest predicted scoring midfielder in the first 4 game weeks. And that is because we don't know about his minutes. That is what using a website like Fantasy Football Hub will tell you. He's too risky, so I can't go for him. Yeah, maybe he cements himself in the team and he becomes a great pick. But for now, I don't want to be risking it on players like him. Let's go through my team. I'll finish it off. Sanchez is locked. I mean, the whole team is locked right now, to be honest. I don't see myself changing much. Anderson or Reijnders is the one. And I'm going to go with Anderson and be boring, sadly. But that is the one I'm going to do. You guys are asking for Pape. What's his middle name? Matt, I think. Something like that. 15 points. He's a good pick. He's very industrious. I don't think he's a very good attacking pick, though. I mean, like, did he score many goals last year? When I watch him, I don't think, oh, you're a great attacker. Like, you're going to pop up with a couple of goals consistently. What did he do last year? Let's go on goal threat. He scored 3 goals. What if we just do involvement? He was in the box a decent amount. Well, not really. I'm just comparing the 2 SARs here. Look at that. I mean, like, I know they're not when we're talking about different players. Goal threat. 3 goals. 2 inside the box, 1 outside. Defcon. So you got, well, let's do per 90. Let's do, I think I don't love doing per 90 because I don't think it's 100% legit. We'll do it for this. Half a point per game. Actually pretty average, to be honest. Let's just go through, let's just have a look at all midfielders from last year, per 90, and we'll hide low mins players. And we will sort by defensive contributions. Oh, look at Casemiro, by the way. I mean, if that Baleba move does happen, he actually could be decent. Because he can hit one from long range. Betancourt, Anderson. That's why everyone's going for Anderson, by the way, because of this. It's just very good. He's also got some upside. Caicedo, Lerma, Christie, Gomez, Norgard. Who are we just looking at? Sarr. Let's just see if Sarr is even here. There he is. He's down here in, 40th place? Behind quite a lot of other 5 million midfielders like Kamara, Yarmouk, Cook of Bournemouth. I mean, these players don't start all the time. Christie does, though. Christie is a long way ahead of Sarr. Like, a long way ahead. He's, twice the player when it comes to defensive contributions, Ryan Christie. I think if you're looking for a 5 million, he might be good. Where's Dewsbury Hall? I mean, let's take off Hyde, low minutes player. Is he going to be here at all? I mean, shockingly bad last year, but different role. Christie or Sarr then? I'd go with Christie. Christie has some upside, doesn't he? I think. What are the points predictions? Let's have a look at Christie is predicted 9.1. Or maybe he's not going to start. Does anyone know if he's predicted? Is he injured? I don't even know. I'm not looking at him, but maybe we don't think he's going to start. Is he carrying some sort of knock? I'm not sure. Sarr under new management, new role. That's true. Right, we've got another sign up. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. Why can't you select Mark Guy? You should be able to. He's here. Not sure if he's going to start or not, but looks a good pick. All right, let me see if anyone wants to jump on from the Fantasy Football Hub team. Anyone want to jump on? I don't know how we're going to, like, the flipping, what am I trying to say? The mic better work. Right, I'll answer a few of your guys' questions while I'm sort of waiting for that. Let's go. Chris Wood flying under the radar. Maybe. I really liked him last year. He was great in my team. He was fantastic. But I think haven't they just signed a new forward, and they've looked poor in pre-season from an attacking point of view. Now, you can't take pre-season into account too much. The fixtures are very good, though. They're very good. I mean, I have three Forest players. Brentford at home, Palace away, West Ham at home, Arsenal away, Burnley away, Sunderland at home. Like, it's strong. If you want to go for it, yeah. Maybe he is as good as someone like a Mateta. I'm not sure, though. I feel like he did overperform a lot last year. Is he going to have a season like he did last year? No. Pretty confident on that. Would Reijnders play as a 6 or a 10? Well, I don't think he's going to play as a 10. I think he has been bought to play as an 8. So if you imagine City playing, well, who knows exactly what they're going to do. It would probably be more like a traditional 4-3-3 this year, you'd imagine. So you have that 6, Rodri. Then he would be, Reijnders, I think, would be that sort of left 8 or right 8, to be fair. I'm not entirely sure on that. Probably right 8, actually. But I think that's where he has been bought to play. The problem is, at the start of the season, as Shekel Goblin says, Rodri is not fit. And I'm not sure how much Pep rates Nico Gonzalez. So I'm thinking there is a decent chance that Reijnders will play as that holding midfielder role, which he did a couple of times in the Club World Cup. If that does happen, I don't think he's a very good pick. So that is the reason that I'm not going with him off the bat. Nathan, I agree. I think long term he will play Gundogan's role, and I think he will be in everyone's teams at some point this season. I think it's just a wait and see for me. With rotation as well, I don't know. They do have quite a lot of midfielders. Who have they got? They've got Ryan Cherky. They've got Kovacic when he's back. They've got is Gundogan still there? Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, he is. Who else have they got? They've got players like Lewis, who could play in midfield. Bob could play in midfield. Foden. He's going to take up a position if he gets in the team. And then they've got Gonzalez, Rodri, and probably missing a couple as well there. Rodgers or Ismaila Sarr? I would go with Rodgers, but I think that Sarr is worth the 0.5 in saving. I think he is. Rodgers I didn't have in my team last year, and he just ruined me. Like, he was so good last year. He really was. He was just electric. Sarr or Semenyo? Yeah, I'll go Sarr. I mean, he's in my team, so like, again, I think that's quite close anyway. And then you save 0.5. When are you planning bench boost with my squad? Well, I will show you. Let's go back onto my team. I don't have a set plan, but I do have a loose plan. And I would love to use it early. Why does it say make transfers? Oh, yeah. All right. Let me go back on this. Okay, so looking at this, right? This is the team for Gameweek 1. I actually love this team. Rate this team out of 10, by the way. What do you reckon? How close is your team to this? I like a lot about this team. I like the double Forest defense. I think Williams is the best 5 million mid. Got a bit of fun in there. Pretty much all these players are known quantities as well, apart from Wirtz. I like it. Game week 2, if I click optimize down here, then this is the bench that Fantasy Football Hub would have me as having, which is Sanchez away at West Ham, Williams away at Palace, Porro away at City, and Guiu, I keep wanting to call him Gui, but I know it's Guiu, away at Burnley. Now, I would definitely bench boost that. Notice I'm not actually bench boosting Dubravka and Estev because according to the predicted points, they're in the team anyway. So realistically, that is the bench boost. Would you do that? Would you bench boost that when you can't bench boost in a double? Yeah. So ideally, it would be then. It depends on Guiu. I think Dubravka's fit now. I think his flag's been removed. So it sort of all depends on whether Guiu can get in the team or not. And this is the thing with Porro. I don't mind him now being on the bench boost, given that he's going to play as a wing back. I don't know what you guys think about that. If we go to Game Week 5 as well, it sort of hinges on the Burnley defenders and their fixtures. So again, Forest at home is okay. Not as good as obviously Sunderland at home. Estev drops to the bench. But look at that. Sanchez United away, Porro at Brighton away. You'd normally play in there anyway. And then again, Guiu, Villa at home. The rest is fine. And this is Game Week 5 when I would probably make some transfers by then. And then we move on to Game Week 8. Now this could be really strong. I mean, like, look at this. Sanchez, Forest away. Williams, Chelsea at home. Anderson, Arsenal at home. Guiu, Wolves at home. The point being, I think I'm well set up to bench boost in any week. It's when Burnley have a good fixture, because the rest of the team looks fine, and I'm not expecting much from a bench boost. We normally say from bench boost you want to hit, if you're hitting appearance points in a double game week, which is 16 points, then that's good, because it's actually quite hard to predict. When it's not in a double, which it's almost definitely not going to be, because you'd need a random circumstance for that to happen before game week 19, then in theory, I think like 10 points is pretty good. It's not a chip that's worth stressing over much at all. So I don't think you, first of all, need to have a plan for it. I don't think you should waste loads of transfers on it. I don't think you should hold loads of money on your bench ready to use it, which is taking money out of your first 11. And I think you can just use it whenever it looks good. So I'll be using it in 2, 5, 8, Let's have a look at the overall fixtures. Just looking at Burnley. Well, not to 31, but to like 19. Where are Burnley? Oh, right down the bottom. That's tough. Palace at home, 14. Let's just have a look at Gameweek 14 finally. No, probably not. So 2, 5, and 8 is when I'd be using it. I hope that answers your question. And if it doesn't, I don't care. Tough, really is. But there we go. Right, let's have a look at some of these questions then. Gakpo, Rodgers, or Wirtz? Which two to play? Well, that's Gakpo and Wirtz for me. Easily. I think that's a good fixture. A lot of upside there. I think like if you know Gakpo is going to start, he's a better pick than Rodgers most weeks. Which I don't know. I don't think many people would agree with that. But he's a left winger for Liverpool. If he's going to start, he's a better pick than Rodgers. He just is. Liverpool are a better attacking team. So that is what I would go for. By the way, guys, there are quite a few questions here. If I don't answer your question, all the answers will be on the website. Just sign up. Like if you're comparing two players and you're not sure, the website is there. Go on it. Get your team rated, as I said. Sign up to the site. It costs a few pounds per month or dollars or whatever. And then all your questions will be answered. Not just before the season starts, but throughout the entire season as well. Let me just check. Okay, Fergie is going to come on. All right, this better flipping work, by the way. I hope it does. I really hope it does. Let me just set this up. Ready for Fergie. That looks good. What are we thinking? How locked are we for our teams? Let me know. Are you fully locked in? We're under 3 hours away now from deadline. Are you fully locked in? Are you still sort of deciding between a couple of players? Are you good to go or not? The people want to know, and so do I. I think, by the way, I'm actually like so stress-free. I think I'm just done, and I have been since last night. I'm trying to think what would have to happen for me to change my mind. And the answer is like big news, genuinely massive news, which I don't think we're going to get at this point. So there we go. Right, let's try and get Fergie in here. I hope this will work. Let's do this. Let's do this. Where is Fergie? Oh. Where is he? Send me a link. Okay, there we go. Right. Hope this will work. If not, the dream's dead. The dream is 100% dead. There we go. I still need to be able to see the chat as well. How the flip do I do that? Let me just pull up YouTube on here so I can see the chat. What's a good rank this season? That's a question I've been asking myself. Because back in the day, maybe still now, but you would say top 10k is an elite rank. Top 25k, top 10k, top 10k, top 10 says Cobby Main. Missing a couple of letters there from your surname. Top 30k is good. How many of you watching this right now are in the top 1% league? Because I am. And that was never in doubt for me personally, but maybe for a few of you it was. Top 15k, Kian didn't make it in. Sorry, mate. Better luck next year. No weak foot is in there. If you're not in it, then maybe you would have been if you signed up to Fantasy Football Hub. Oh my goodness, what a background that is, Fergie. Okay, let me try and sort this out. Fergie, can you hear me?
I can, mate.
You can.
Very quietly, but I'm just going to turn my speakers up. It's probably me. Yep, I can hear you all good.
Right, let me just try and sort this out. Guys, let me know if you can hear Fergie, firstly, on because my audio has been really bad. I know you can't see me right now, but I've been trying to sort of sort out my audio, and I think I've got it working, but I'm not.
They can hear.
They can hear.
Yeah, they put in the chat they can hear. Yeah, Kian and Joshua says I can hear his sweet Welsh tones.
Wow,
That's what I'm talking about.
and it is
That's
sweet.
what I'm talking about, buddy. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's not as sweet as yours, but
Camera on here. How do you do this streaming stuff, by the way? It's actually so hard. It's just brutally hard.
oh, they can't hear anyone now. Apparently, mate.
Oh yeah. Fucks. Right. What about?
I see you now.
Yeah. No. It's all a mess. Right, this should work. This should work.
Says there, ta-da. Keaton's in. Woo!
What about now, guys? Let me know. Oh, now the chat's over your face. All right.
The chat's at my face. Come
Yeah.
on.
Why is the well? All right, everyone can hear. Okay, good.
How's it going, Jack?
Why is the chat suddenly exploded? Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I don't know what I'm doing with streaming. I'm very new to this. Thankfully, can you host? Can you just host? It'd be much easier if you can host.
I'm just lucky every week. Well, welcome to the Fantasy Football Club. No, you've done an amazing job, mate. Absolutely superb. How's your team looking?
It's looking all right. It's looking all right. You know what? I can share my screen with you, I think. Let me just do this. I'm going to put this back here. Can you see that? Let me know in the chat, by the way, guys, audio levels. Fergie's really soft. Is that his voice, or is that his sort of personality? His management style?
I thought you said your team was looking in good shape, Jack.
I've turned you up, so I think now we should be similar.
Yeah, all good. So I haven't got my normal mic. I'm in a meeting room in London on my way to Fest in a couple of hours. I'm actually just give a shout out if you don't mind. Apparently in about an hour I'm going on Radio 5 Live, which I'm really excited about. So,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah. But I was on Radio Wales this morning, and I had a phone call an hour ago, so I'm really excited about that. So
Damn.
if you're not on here on Jack streaming an hour, make sure you listen in to BBC 5 Live, because I should be on there chatting about my no Salah strategy. And everything to do with that. So
right, let me just so this is going to cut the audio again for a second, because I don't know what's going on. Every time I do a new scene, I have to add an audio source. I don't know why. Okay, we should be back here, I think. I don't know why it's doing this. It's very annoying. But right, okay. Let's just get into your team, because if the people should have seen the video with me and you not that long ago that was posted on the channel. If they haven't, then back then, just to explain what your team was or what you were thinking, you were going super aggressive with your strategy, and you had the plan to bench boost in, was it game week 1, and then free hit in game week 2, and then you had good fixtures for game week 3, and then maybe wildcard game week 4 was your plan, wasn't it?
it is, mate, and I'm still there. I've been wavering. I've been wavering a lot because, well, the one thing I've wavered over. Did you see the news yesterday from the Referees Association around giving me more penalties for grappling? So currently I've got no Salah, and I've got no Bruno Fernandes. So immediately I'm kind of panicking, but I've kind of got over that now, and I think that I'm just I'm just going to run with it, and I'm pretty excited because even though I haven't got Salah, I have got Wirtz, Gakpo, and Ekitike as well,
Wow.
which I'm hoping should you know uh, should match any damage that Salah captainers should do. After watching the Community Shield, and I'm not sure what you thought, Jack, after you watched it, but I know that Salah can have these sorts of games where it looks like he's hugging the right hand side, but I just feel like they've got a new superstar in Florian Wirtz,
Mm.
and I feel like a lot of the players are going to go through him from now on, and he's going to be spraying it sort of left and right. And also Salah's lost his relationship with Trent. I think his relationship with Frimpong is going to be very different to sort of what it was with Trent. And I just feel all in all, with the new chips now available to us and this new super aggressive strategy actually, viable. I mean, my bench boost, right, is it's Reijnders.
Let's build your. Can I just build your team so we can
Oh
see it on
yeah,
screen?
please,
See.
please,
So let's just
please
run me
do.
through it really
Go on.
quickly, just the whole thing.
Sanchez and Sals.
Really? Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Fair
oh,
enough.
mate,
Okay.
you watch now.
Okay.
Porro,
Yeah.
Romero,
Who do you support again?
so yeah, Spurs,
Yeah.
Milenkovic, I
Okay.
think, De Kuyper from Brighton,
Oh,
who I
nice.
think could even be on penalties potentially, apparently,
What?
which is well,
Wow.
that's what I saw a rumor. Can you imagine the new Leighton Baines?
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Um, and Eight Nori. And I think with the news this afternoon that Gvardiol is out injured.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah,
I've
he's
missed
out
that.
injured for the weekend. I think it's nailed Eight Nori in that position. So that's my back
Ooh.
five.
Okay.
And then going for Wirtz,
Gakpo, you mentioned.
um, Gakpo, Palmer, Reinders, and I fancy Kudus. So I did have other options in this price point. I did have like Morgan Rogers or Anderson, but I just I'm a Spurs fan. I really liked what I saw. I've seen so far of Kudus, and there's lots of talk that he's Thomas Frank's new Mbeumo, and if he is a new Mbeumo,
Yeah.
6.5 million is crazy. So that's my midfield. Pretty stacked, I think. I'm targeting fixtures as well. So, if you look at it, Liverpool are home to Bournemouth, Chelsea are home. Um, Reijnders has got a nice fixture and Kudus home to Burnley. I don't fancy Bruno Fernandes opening fixture against Arsenal. I appreciate he'll probably be in my team at some point in the season, maybe early as game week 3, for example,
Yeah.
against Burnley, but I spread the funds a bit more. And then a front three then of Watkins, who I fancy against Newcastle, Joao Pedro, and Ekitike, who I think is a
Wow.
wonderful differential
That's a
because
crazy
I'm
team.
super impressed.
You know, when you got to your last forward there, I was like, I pretty much went to put Mark Guiu in because I'm so used to the third forward being
No, no, no,
Mark
we're
Guiu,
not
and I
having
was,
that. We're not,
I
mate,
looked, you had
I'm not having
8.5 in the bank. I was like, what the flip?
I'm not having any of this Davrabka, Esteve, GUI stuff in my team this
Yeah.
season. I'm proper going for it. So yeah, so I'll bench boost this team in game week 1, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to fest this evening. I'm going to be surrounded by 350
Yeah, template
Salah
neeks.
captainers.
Yeah, like me. I'll be there.
So yeah, no, oh yes, of course, yeah, no, but it's kind of more around Salah captain plus maybe a Wirtz, maybe a Virgil
Mm.
against Wirtz captain Gakpo and Ekitike, and I just hope if the play does kind of flow down the left hand side, that even if Salah gets a goal, a goal and assist or a couple of goals, that I get the assists as a minimum, and then with the rest of my team being so strong throughout, then I do think it's an opportunity to maybe. I think the downside is negligible. I think the upside is potentially huge. Because if Liverpool do go on and win 3-0 and Salah's not involved, I mean, I'm all over that, right,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that team. So
Who's your
so
who's
yeah,
your
and
captain?
I know the AI says Parma, and I can understand why, but I do think Palace are a strong team. So I'm going to go for Wirtz
Okay.
because obviously the stats we're looking at for Verse and how his his predicted points are generated and not based on this super attacking Liverpool team. So here you go. I'll see you later, Holly. Holly Shan just waving goodbye.
Get her in here. Get her in.
Say hello.
There she is.
She's here.
Wow, look at that. I get a celebrity appearance from Holly.
Exactly.
We have to pay a lot of money for that, by the way. Wow, lucky us.
Yeah, I just think it's worth the upside risk. I'm really, really pumped about it. Like, I do think FPL over the last few years potentially has become, a little bit more stale than it was in terms of lots of teams the same. It's very hard to find an edge sort of thing. And I'm super pumped for it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if it does work out, mate, you're gonna be having me on every single week.
I know.
I'll be the talk of the town.
Well, I really hope it does work out. For that reason, to be honest, because that would be amazing. Say it does go super well, and then as you said, Salah blanks, Verts doesn't. I mean, to be fair, the team you can get without Salah, like that bench is insane. Who would you even?
It's a mental bench boost, right?
So you're bench boosting that. That's ridiculous. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. I haven't put those players there, by the way. That's what Fantasy Football Hub has said. Those are your 4 weakest. Well, the keeper, but then your 3 weakest players for Gameweek 1 are Kudus, Reijnders, and the Kuiper. That is sick.
They're the players strongest going to Salah.
Well, exactly. I suppose. Talking about the downside.
Yeah.
What is it? Salah can. What happens if Salah scores 1 goal? Salah gets 10 points, Verts gets 3 points. What happens there in terms of the downside? Because you're bench boosting, so you'll get those points back anyway.
Yeah, I think so. I think, but if Salah scores, I think there's a fairly high likelihood that I'll have the assister, which immediately knocks off some points. And if Salah does score and it's 2-0 and the other goal is scored by Gakpo, Verts, or Ekitike, they're involved in the assist as well. So I'm battling against Salah, but I'm battling against it with lots of different angles. I think that's my worst case scenario is Liverpool win 2-0 or 3-0, Salah hat-trick, Salah 2 goals, which is possible, right? But I do think even then I'll get the assists. And he's 33, and I know people don't like these narratives, but I'm only going on what I watched last week. And what I watched last week was, I think it was the new coming of a superstar in Florian Wirtz, and I do feel like he's going to be the main man, and I think he's going to pull all the strings. And I just think with the whole change of personnel around Salah, he's gone from Trent and whoever was playing in the 10 last year, Szoboszlai, to Frimpong and Wirtz. The whole dynamic has changed, and while Salah is still absolutely world class, he'll probably score a lot of points. I do think there are now potentially world class players all around him who could take who Wirtz can help out and take their share of the spoil. So I know it's not a common tactic, and I know it's not common against FPL managers or even popping FPL managers, but I'm doing it because I believe in it. And even if Salah is on form, right, he still does blank from time to time. So I've got the opportunity. Like, how many opportunities do we have to potentially look at a 20, 30 point swing in one game where, like I say, if it doesn't go my way, the downside to me is negligible because I'm bench boosting anyway. And I've got all the players around him. So I'll stop waffling on now because I'm repeating the same point. But hopefully you get the gist of...
No, I want to look at it. I want to look at it in more depth. Yeah.
Why I'm doing it. So.
No, it definitely does make sense to me. And as you said, it could be huge. I think that whenever that point does arise where Salah's form or ability starts to dwindle, if you can time that before other people in general... in FPL, then you're going to do really well because it will take a lot of time for people to say, okay, maybe this is actually Salah not in the best form or the team's changed or whatever. And that has to happen at some point because he's not going to be playing when he's 50. Who knows? It might be the start of this season, or it might be like a period for Liverpool where they're sort of changing how they're going to play and Salah's getting used to it. It could easily be now. I also want to say that while you were talking there, We had two more signups to Fantasy Football Hub. So
Come
keep
on,
talking.
baby.
I don't know.
If you're not signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, honestly, really, what are you doing? We've got
Oh, we just
like
got another one as
like
well.
I just can't even believe that people aren't signed up yet. You know, there's 750,000 managers now signed up to Fantasy
That's
Football Hub, and
crazy.
if you're not, they're all using these tools. They're all using our stats, our insights, our expert team reveals. You know, we've got the best managers in the world. You know, Ben Crellin, Bigman, Bakar, Rich Clark, Holly Shand, FPL Heisenberg, Abdul Rahman. You know, I'm on there in FPL. I'm not saying I'm the best FPL
He
manager,
just
but
did
I've
say that.
also
He just did say
but
that.
I've also no, but you know, I've also won you know, won the Dream Team game
Yeah.
and Telegraph as well. So I do my team reveals on that. I mean, you know, for what it is, this is crazy. You know, it's crazy value. And join us. You know, I've just had a message. Let me just so what one of my friends joined the hub last week, and I've just had a message off him in the last half an hour. If I can just read it out, he said these group chats are going nuts leading up to the deadline. So
Mm.
this is our WhatsApp perk on Pro. He says, I go to make a cuppa and there's 40 messages. He says, it's a great addition onto the membership. And then he says, I guess once the first week is done, you'll be playing golf, which is irrelevant. But the point is that, you know, as part of Pro membership, you get put into our WhatsApp groups, which are absolutely buzzing 24/7 with like-minded enthusiasts. And this is in addition to, you know, all the stuff you get here, you know, in terms of the rating and the AI and everything else.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not signed up, I think now you're falling behind. So yeah, I'll leave that there, Jack, for a plug.
No,
But
I agree. I
honestly,
agree. The link to sign up, you can see it's 50% off right now. And if you don't win your mini league once again this year, you've heard me say this like hundreds of times across preseason. If you are new to the channel, if you are a new customer to Fantasy Football Hub and you don't win your mini league this year, you will get all your money refunded to you. There are terms and conditions. They're very simple. I actually put a screenshot up on Twitter yesterday of the terms and conditions because there are like 3 of them. You just got to use the site pretty much every game week.
we gave back, you know, we gave back hundreds and hundreds
Yeah.
of refunds this year because, you know, we truly believe that the product now is so strong, that AI is so strong that, you know,
Mm.
if you don't win, you deserve your money back. So absolutely.
I've pinned the link in the chat, the top of the chat. You can tell I'm a streamer, Fergie. It's also in the description. But yeah, click it. I've actually had a few messages from a couple of my friends, and they were saying, I don't know, it's just annoying because back in the day, I used to win my work league easily because people didn't really know about fantasy football and they'd make stupid mistakes. And then one of my friends said the guy that won their work league last year was a Fantasy Football Hub member, subscriber. And he was like, it's a joke. Like if he's winning the league and I know more about football than him, but he's using Fantasy Football Hub and that's helping his team, that's unfair. And I just said, like, yeah, but if you want to win, then you need to use a tool like this that's really going to help you. And it's not his fault, the person that beat him, that they are willing to put time into a tool like this and use AI and use technology. It's just the way it's going, isn't it? Like, if you're not using this sort of
It's the
stuff,
way of the world, mate.
as you mentioned as well, 750,000 members. Currently, we have about 7 million players in fantasy, around that. So 10% of active managers on fantasy are Fantasy Football Hub. They have an account with Fantasy Football Hub. If you're not part of that 10%, you're at a huge disadvantage.
The way I see it, Jack, you know, I always have these, you know, these chats or conversations about, you know, a sort of monetization, right? So I have golf lessons, right? And
Yeah,
I pay a bloody fortune for golf lessons,
great
which I
point. Yeah.
shouldn't because I'm not very good, right? But you know, my golf coach, who I pay much more than a Fantasy Football Hub
Mm.
subscription, spends time with me and he shares his expertise with me because he's a wonderful golfer, in the hope that I can turn into a better golfer. I just don't see the difference. I really don't. And yeah, it's just about sort of, you know, utilizing all the tools available around you to your advantage. You don't have to blindly follow the AI, or you don't have to do what we tell you. What we do, hopefully, we make the game more engaging, more enjoyable, give you ideas of weaknesses within your team as well. To look at yourself. We can, if you want the answers, we'll tell you the answers. If you want a bit of advice, we'll give you a bit of advice. But there's this, there's this masses and masses of tools, information, and support. And and like I say, it's if you're not with the hub at the moment, you're falling behind, I think.
All right, I've got your recommendations on screen by the AI just because you mentioned them. Now, it's worth me saying that I haven't actually put in bench boost Gameweek 1 here.
Yeah.
I need to go back and do it on the previous screen. But anyway, if you weren't bench boosting, if you weren't sure about your chips, you are being recommended to get Salah in your team. I think I think that you've said this yourself. Salah is a key player. You're hoping that the downside is less than you think.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, and if I wasn't doing this strategy, I probably would have Salah because, they're away to Newcastle in game week 2, which I think is a decent fixture. So I'm free hitting next week. So I may, depending how Salah looks, I may or may not get Salah next week. Currently, I'm thinking I won't because I can pile in on, Arsenal players. I can get Saka and Gyökeres, maybe Haaland and Evan Nielsen and all these players that barely anyone owns at the moment, while everyone else is still messing around with Esteve and Dubravka. But if like Salah is a long-term play, so when I wildcard in game week 4, all being equal, I will almost certainly have Salah for the long run. The whole point of me playing this way now is to try and get a really aggressive, fast-paced start, because I truly think that if there's 8.5 million players registered at the moment. By the time the game week 1 deadline rolls around, it'll probably be 9 million, so 9.5 million.
Yeah.
Right?
I was 8.5. Wow, is that many in the past couple of
days? It's 8.5 now.
Oh wow,
8.5
I thought it was like
now,
7. Right? That's
over.
Going up. Okay.
No, it's more. It's more.
Wow.
So if you don't get off to a good start, bear in mind now, with all these chips, have a think of the amount of casual managers who are going to be using chips, in these opening game weeks, and some will get lucky and some won't. But think of all the chips that are being played. And if you're just playing a sort of average game, average Joe, I feel it's going to be really, really easy to fall behind. And it's no fun playing from behind. I also think you play differently when you're playing from behind. If you're 6 million in game week 4, or if you're 200k, I think the decisions you make are very, very different. You're almost forced to try and be different, aren't you? If you're chasing, whereas when you're in front, you make sensible decisions. So again, this is this is the part of why I'm playing this way. There's not just one thing. I'm not just trying to bench boosting it. I'm not just going. I'm not just opposing Salah just to be different. There's a lot of different factors in it, and so I think if the chips weren't available, I go for Salah. But I just feel there's opportunity to do it. So those transfers you mentioned then, I think are very viable and very sensible. If I wasn't going for this kind of uber aggressive play.
Right. How about some questions from the live chat, Fergie? I don't know how long you have or what you're up to. Or
I don't. I've got maybe 5 or 10 minutes because I've saying going on this thing now.
Oh yeah, of course.
Let me just see now. Let me just jump in the chat. Sorry.
No, I'll just ask you them.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah. I'll look at the chat. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, you have to be subscribed to the chat. You have to be subscribed to the channel to ask your question. If you subscribe, then you can instantly ask a question. I don't have like a delay on it or anything. But if you hit the subscribe button, then you can ask your question. If you've got any 50-50s
button, then you can ask.
Oh, I can hear myself. There we go. Finally.
It's gone, mate. It's gone. It's gone.
Right. Apparently, Joshua's saying the game has just hit 9 million managers. People are signing up late.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy.
That is ridiculous. I mean, that is late. Right. Verts and Fulkrug or Mateta and Rogers, asks Philip.
I think I prefer Verts and Fulkrug. I think Mateta's that opening fixture is tough for Palace, I think. And Rogers is great. I think it's close, but I just look at the players in division. I think Verts is going to have a strong game this evening. Fulkrug's away to Sunderland, so I just think all being equal, I think Mateta and Rodgers have got difficult fixtures in Palace and Newcastle, whereas I think Wirtz and Fulker have got Bournemouth and Sunderland, and that's why I'm going for them really. Yeah.
That's fair enough. I don't think, like, looking at the predicted points, look, Mateta is so high. And I was talking about this earlier because I was talking about me going for Joao Pedro, which you've done as well. You've gone for Joao Pedro over Mateta, right? They're the same price. Why do you reckon that Mateta is so much higher than Joao Pedro? Because that 3 points over 4 game weeks, which is what the prediction is saying, that is a lot.
One, it'll be penalties. So obviously Mateta took the penalty last week, so we bumped up his penalty appeal from Eze. If Eze leaves as well, which is looking increasingly likely, Mateta will definitely be on penalties, and it's also expected minutes as well. So Mateta, and I can't, I do,
Sorry, it's a bit, I can
it
zoom in.
it doesn't show it on this screen, the actual expected minutes, but I'm guessing Mateta's is probably like 85 or 90, whereas Joao Pedro will probably have minutes stolen off him off Delap. So it'll be a combination of those things. Mateta playing 85, 90 and being on pens against Pedro not being on pens and probably playing 70, which is why it probably swings it in Pedro's favour. I just prefer Chelsea's fixtures to Mateta, and just can't ignore João Pedro's form. I mean, he was ever since he joined Chelsea, he's been absolutely out of this world, unbelievable. And I think a thing in fantasy, which I think a lot of fantasy players tend to play a bit safe sometimes, but how you win, or in my view, how you do well at fantasy is trying to get on, is get ahead of something before it happens, or is spotting something, like the touch paper's been lit. And that for me, João Pedro just looks to have settled in right in at Chelsea. And, he hadn't scored any FPL points yet, but the goals he's scored, the performances he's put in have been superb. And I really think that, he can get off to a flyer. So that's why I'm going with João Pedro.
All my group chats, all my messages are going crazy right now. People are asking so many questions. And I can't, even with the live chat, I can't ask every single question, guys. So it's worth saying one more time. If we don't get around to your question, if I don't get around to your question over the course of this live stream, the answer will probably be on Fantasy Football Hub. Once again, somebody has just became a member. People are becoming members we're getting more than a membership every minute at the moment, which is pretty insane. And that's just on my link, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, if you haven't signed up, the link to do so is down below. If you want to win at FPL, sign up. Next question. So we have a Gakpo or Rodgers, which you've gone with Gakpo there. So I think that answers it itself. But you did mention there of going slightly more aggressive. Thoughts on Tosin? I gave my thoughts on Tosin earlier. I'm not sure as a Chelsea fan that I could necessarily say he is nailed for 12 game weeks. Now, looking at the predicted points, we have him really high over the first 4 game weeks. However, that's just the first 4 game weeks. You got to remember that Hato is there. There will be some rotation when cup competitions start. I don't know when that is, to be fair. Probably not for a while, but that will happen. I don't know. I mentioned earlier in the stream, Fergie, I don't want to be messing around with a 4.5 million defender. That's not where I want to spend my transfers. So for me, he's not an option, but I think he will do very well at the start of the season. You've got Sanchez in there. Next question. Somebody says, I can't do team ratings since my dad won't let me. How on earth do you respond to that?
I don't really know. But it's free. It's free. It's free to get a team rating. It doesn't cost anything. You put your team in, you get a screenshot, you put in your team, it'll give you a rating, and that's it. It's free.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know why.
He just hates AI. That's
who
the
knows?
thing.
Who knows? He hates AI.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly. And you don't have to pay, Kian. No, not to get your team rated. Your team rating is completely free. If you want to sign up after that, then you have to pay. But again, just tell your dad it's the price of a coffee, because that's literally what it is per month.
Exactly. A coffee every month to absolutely just completely transform your whole experience of FPL this season.
Maybe your dad doesn't like coffee, and that's a shame.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Thoughts on Vicario, asks Harry. Obviously, you're a Tottenham fan. You've got double Tottenham defense. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I really, really like it. And the only reason why I wouldn't have Vicario is I probably think that I think that Porro and Romero are very strong from an attacking perspective. I also got Kudus in my team, who who I think I'll be really impressed with. I think he could have a good start to the season. I think Van der Ven is strong as well. So I suppose my argument is I think there's much more potential upside from the defenders, both from a clean sheet view, but also from attacking view. I think we'll see more than once this season a Porro free kick headed in by Romero, as we did obviously on Wednesday night. And Romero is the captain now as well. It showed on Wednesday. Spurs are going to play a back five against the harder team that look like a Thomas Frank sort of special.
Yeah.
Which put Porro even higher up again on set pieces. Romero's always incredibly dangerous with his head as well. Van der Ven is 4.5. So that's the reason why I just can't get excited about Vicario. I think in isolation, he's a good pick, but not at the expense of the other Spurs defenders.
Yeah. That's fair enough. I'm conscious of time, Fergie. I don't want you to overrun.
Yeah, another minute or two.
Okay, well, a couple more questions. Maybe one more question. And also, when you do go back to the office or wherever you're going, let me know if anyone else wants to hop on. We could do a little sub or something, because it's much easier for me when I've got someone else on rather than me just rambling.
I did this 3 years ago for 4 hours, mate. I feel your pain.
It's not hard. It's hard. There's a lot going on at the same time. So it's not just I'm trying to read the chat. I'm trying to make sure that the scene's all set up correctly. I'm trying to listen to you.
Of course.
It's a lot. I think it's a lot harder than doing a video. But again, I'm not really that used to it. Haaland or Salah? I'm so torn, says Ryan. Now, this is a good question to ask you because you are going for a different strategy and you are chasing upside. Yeah. What do you think about someone that is willing to chase upside with Haaland?
I've never really considered Haaland at all. I just prefer Salah to Haaland out of the two. Haaland, he could do well, but I think he disables so much of the rest of your team anyway. And even if you captain, apart from that one season when Haaland was in and everyone had him, he didn't really have much opposition in terms of the armband. I think when there's opposition, I would much rather go for a midfielder than a forward because of just those extra avenues to sort of points. And Haaland and Man City in general were off it last year, right? And again, he's got players in behind him now who are new, and Cherki and Reijnders and players like that. So I'm not convinced enough to spend all that money on Haaland. So out of the two, I would go for Salah. I'm not saying for 1 minute that Salah isn't a great pick. I'm opposing it because I think there's even great opportunity elsewhere. But I would go Salah over Haaland.
Same. Interestingly, like in all the recommended transfers that I've seen across pre-season, Haaland hasn't been recommended in any of them because it's just like the predicted points sort of say it over here. Salah's predicted to score 5 more than Haaland. So, yeah, there we go. I agree with that. Final question. We got a donation from Alexander. Thank you very much, my friend. Wirtz and Mateta or Marmoush and Joao Pedro. Now, you've mentioned Mateta versus... We've talked about that already. So let's just do Wirtz and... Well, they're the same price, both sets of players, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just do Wirtz versus Marmoush.
I think that I would go Wirtz, which is the opposite because it's Wirtz and Mateta against Marmoush and Joao Pedro. I think Wirtz is guaranteed minutes. I prefer their 2 home fixtures in the first 3. I prefer their fixtures. Marmoush, I had Marmoush in my draft this morning actually, but I look at it and I just think, is he going to play? I mean, you're reasonably sure. You're sort of 80% sure. Wirtz is playing 100%. And Marmoush, he probably will play. There's always an outside chance for Man City players, I think, that they may not. So I don't think we maybe saw enough of Marmoush last year to justify going over someone like Wirtz who has this plum home fixture. So while I do think Marmoush could be a good shout and he'll be a differential, I just feel that Wirtz is a better pick, at this moment.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I've got Wirtz in my team and not Marmoush. I haven't really given Marmoush much thought, to be fair. No. But I don't know. He could do well. He could do, but it's a could do, I think, as opposed to a Wirtz where
Well, I'm captaining him. Like
Yeah.
I saw enough on Sunday to think rightly or wrongly, and Liverpool fans may disagree, but I just feel the play is going to go through Verts now.
Mm. Is Fergie bench boost in Game Week 1? Yes, he is, and this is his team to bench boost with in Game Week 1. For those of you that are just coming in now, look at that. How strong is that? Sales, Kudus, Reijnders, De Kuiper as a Game Week 1 bench boost. Ridiculous. If you're thinking about it and you want to get your team rated, loads of you are signing up now. Just got another notification that we've got another membership. The link to do so is in the description, top line, and it's also it's pinned in the live stream chat. Go and get your team rated. We've now got 2 hours and 15 minutes till deadline. It's at 6:30, isn't it? Deadline.
It is.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't want to miss it myself. My team's
I could have fibbed you then, mate, because I said 7:30.
Yeah, you missed it. My team's been like so locked in. I recorded a video yesterday afternoon about my final team, and it went live this morning just because, and it's still the same team.
Yeah.
Just because I was
I think,
let's do it.
I think if I was going with your strategy, I'd be completely locked in as well. I don't think there's really anything that can change it. I do think it's an incredibly strong team, and for a longer term view, I think it's so strong. I'm sure you're going to have a fabulous season. But I'm just going against you in terms of you will probably win out longer term if Salah bangs this evening. If Salah doesn't bang, I think I have opportunity to get in front of you and to hold it. And so this is my whole argument with it all. So, but yeah, your team is looking awesome, mate. And I wish you the best for the season. Hopefully we can do a few more of these. It'd be really good to jump on and roast a few drafts and give some tips and whatever else. But yeah, just last note from me. Thank you, Jack. Absolutely superb job as usual. And if you're not signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, this is the time to do it. You don't want to do it next week. You want to do it now in the 2 hours.
That's a good point. All right. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for jumping on.
I'll speak to you soon, buddy.
Yes.
And thanks, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. Cheers, all.
Okay. Fergie is off. Let me end this live stream. Let me jump back to what screen shall I go to here? Because now you can just see. Oh, hiya. just a tiny bit of me, which is great. Let's go back on this as I sort myself out. Let me end this, and then we will go back on this where you can't see me, which is a shame, but now I'm back. There we go. That was Fergie, everybody. What a man he was. Well, still is, unless something really shocking has just happened there in the last 12 seconds. I hope not. Let's do some quick fire questions from the chat now, guys. Let me bring my team back up on screen, just so you guys know what I'm doing, because I think that will be the best thing to do. So you can ask me questions about my team if you like, or if you don't care, then don't ask me any questions. That is fair enough. So I have my team on screen. I'll just quickly build it. It's not going to change. It's been locked in for a long time. It does really well on the My Team tool, and I like it. And then what I'll do is I'll just answer your questions 50-50s for the rest of the stream. Because why not? I've got to remember it here. I also do just need to check that this is the team I've got actually on the website, because I build my team on Fantasy Football Hub because it's so much easier. By the way, the UI this year has been absolutely dog shit. And I don't swear on this channel, so you know how bad it's been because of that. Like, so bad. I don't know what they've done to the game. I'm a big Premier League fan in general. I think they're good people, but what have they done to the website? It is significantly worse than it was. How do I feel about Reijnders? Asks Hazy Flame. I've answered that question before. I think I would love to have the balls to go for him over Anderson, but I don't. There's your answer. I'm more of a boring template manager these days because it just works for me. Like, I've done pretty well over the past couple of years. I come like 20k both years, and that's been going for it on the final day where I've had a chance of top 10k, gone for it. It's not worked out. So I think I was like 14 or 13k going into Gameweek 38 last year. Captain Saka obviously went horribly wrong, but I don't care about coming like 20k. I'd rather come top 10k. But I put myself in a position to get there, or like be there, I think, relatively consistently these days by playing like this. People might say, well, you're never going to win FPL playing like this. I still think you need a lot of luck to win, no matter how you play. So I don't really think how you play matters that much. Like, we just had Fergie on there. To be fair, if that does come off for him, he's got a great chance. Like, but it's still a long, long season. You need a lot of things to go your way, no matter your strategy. This is the team. Oh, can't spell my own players. Well, ex-players now name. Or no, still a Chelsea player. Just gone on loan, hasn't he? That's the team. 97% team rating. 68.7 predicted points game week 1. If you think you can beat that team rating, have a go for free down below in the description, or it's also pinned in the live stream chat. You can see it where it says want to win an FPL at the top of the chat. Click on that, sign up to Fantasy Football Hub, get your team rated, get your recommended transfers, etc. Let me know your thoughts on the team. Right, I'm just going to go through some quick fire questions now, reading the chat. Seper, sorry to mispronounce your name, says, Esteve will most likely drop in price. Should we just go with the Leeds defender? I don't think he will drop in price. I think he will get enough points to actually rise in price. Sunderland at home is a great game. I don't think any Leeds defenders have a better game than that. Let's have a look at the cheap defenders. Rodon, Everton at home is decent. Look, you can see Esteve is predicted to score 0.5 points more than Rodon, 0.6 more than Goodmanson in that respective game because it's a better fixture. I think Esteve also could be great for defensive contribution points. He's in there. I don't care about prices with certain players. Like Giu, he might drop in price, but I think he's the best 4.5 forward. Points over pounds every single time. Why Murillo over Tarkowski? That's a good question, actually. That is a good question. I think Forest are just a better defence. That's a good question. I've not really thought about that. Where's Tarkowski on predicted points? They're on similar. I'm not going to do that, but that you've made me think there. I like Murillo. I think he's just a beast. I think Forest are a better defence than Everton. I also don't love Everton's fixtures. Leeds away, I don't see a clean sheet. Brighton at home, I don't really see a clean sheet. Wolves away, I think from game week 6, that is better. I think they look better than they actually are. Whereas I think like Brentford at home, West Ham at home, Burnley away, Sunderland at home, those are plum. So I'm happy to double up. What is the 100% team? Patrick, I can't show you that. I'm not actually allowed to show you it this close to deadline. It's here. Can you see on screen where it says AI teams? If you sign up to the website, again, you have 2 hours to sign up. It's 50% off. And click on this right here. It will show you the best team according to the algorithm, everything for game week 1. I'm not actually allowed to show you because it's that close to game week 1. So if you want to see it, you've got to sign up to the website. People are signing up like every second. I get a notification every time someone signs up. So go and do it. See the best team for yourself. Again, 50% off before game week 1's deadline. So you want to do it. What does points over pounds imply for us slow people? It implies that I don't really mind if Giu drops in price to 4.4 if he comes into the team, which I expect him to do when fit, and gets points in game week 2 or in game week 5 when I'm going to need him on my bench boost. That's the point. Like, I don't think, like, people are saying go with, what's his name? Croupy Jr. because he's got lower ownership and he's not going to drop in price. Sure, but he's also not going to play. That's what I mean by points over pounds. Verts over Bruno, yeah, that's exactly what I've gone for. I think Bruno's a bit boring. Like, I have Anderson in there over Reijnders, but that's because Anderson is nailed and Reijnders isn't, in my opinion. Bruno and Verts are both nailed. I like Verts more. Also, that 0.5 difference enables me to upgrade Kelleher to Sanchez, which I think is a big upgrade. Why Sarr and not and Die? It could be either. I think they're both good picks. I like Sarr a little bit more, but that really is a 50-50. I just like Sarr. Also covers a little bit of the Palace attack, and I don't have Mateta. Konza and Rogers or Frimpong and Reijnders. I already have Watkins. That doesn't. It's a lot of Villa. I probably would go Konza and Rogers because it's safer. Depends on you as a manager. Best 5 million defender except Romero and Williams. Okay, I would say Williams. Romero is close. I would say Williams just. Let's see what this is saying. 5 million defender. Yeah, Lacroix, I think, is the best one. I think Chalobah's good. I think his place in the team is set. Long term, I'd probably say Lacroix. He's very good for Defcons, Lacroix. Very, very good indeed. I think that's close. Best 6.5 million mid. I've gone with Saar, so I think I have to say Saar there. Is 8 Nori nailed? Well, Fergie just came on and told me that he is nailed because Gvardiola's injured. So early on in the season, yes, why not? I don't know the extent of that injury there. Pedro Porro and Gakpo, or Van de Ven and Wirtz. Porro and Gakpo, or Van de Ven and Wirtz. I would go Van de Ven and Wirtz, I think, because Gakpo isn't 100% nailed for me, whereas Van de Ven and Wirtz are when fit. Munoz versus Porro. I've gone for Porro. I think the fixtures are better, but the plan is to get Munoz in quickly, like from game week 4. It's not that good, actually. Like, do their fixtures ever get really good? People have been saying that they're like great at some point. My question to you all is when? Maybe 4. That is good, actually. So maybe you go from Porro to Munoz in game week 4. Spurs, West Ham away, Brighton away. I don't know. See what happens with that one. But I've gone with Porro for now. Why no Van Dijk? Yeah, I used to have Van Dijk in my team. He's been in my team for quite a lot of pre-season. But I just look at Liverpool's fixtures from a defensive point of view. That's a good fixture. Newcastle away is very tough. Arsenal at home is tough. Those are good, I suppose. I just feel like the 5.5s can keep up with Virgil. Who knows if that's right or not. Why is it not optimizing my team? Just hit the refresh button. It should work. Or just go in and out of the browser. Sometimes when there's a lot of people on the site, it does get a bit buggy, like now, sort of like the actual official FPL site. If you don't know what we're talking about, by the way, sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. I've said it enough times this stream. It's 50% off right now. If you want to win at FPL, you can see it. Like, look at that. It's big up there. Want to win at FPL, want to find out your team rating, which is down there. Get on it. You don't want to miss out. Someone else just signed up. Loads of you are signing up. We have 750,000 members now. 750,000. If you're not one of those, then you're at a disadvantage this season. You might not like it. It's just the truth. So don't be at a disadvantage. If there's that person in your mini league that you know is a member and you're not, it's very, very risky to go without, in my opinion. The link to sign up is in the pinned comment of the live chat. It's also in the description. Go and do it. It's the price of a coffee each month. It's very, very cheap if you get 50% off, which you can do before the season starts. More questions. Double up on Spurs with Porro and VDV, or VDV and Murillo. Or VDV and Murillo is what I would do. I don't like a double up on Spurs. I think that's too aggressive. I think having one is fine. It's sort of like even almost amongst engaged managers, because I think there are going to be a lot of managers on both, like among the sort of engaged community. What are the ownerships of these players? 3%. Wow, that is remarkably high. 27%, 20%. Anyone on Spence? I doubt it. I like Spence. Udoggy's injured. I don't mind him. I'm not going to double up, but there we go. Dorgu or Anderson or Konza. I have Anderson in my team, so the answer has to be Anderson. What's your opinion on Rutter? Don't you think he's better than most 6.5 million midfielders? No, I don't. I think he might be better, but I think he's more risky. I just don't know enough about how his role is going to be in that team. Like, what's going on with Welbeck? What is going on with him? Could he come back into the team at any moment? I think he could. Do I know for sure that Minter is nailed on to play every single week? Did I say Minter? I meant to say Rutter. Nailed on to play every single week. He probably is. But if he's a number 10, do I like it as much? No. He could be good. But the thing is, if you start with Salah, you can always drop down to him. Got to think about that. Don't spam, guys. Spam all you want. You can spam. Would you start Dewsbury Hall or Reijnders? I would start Reijnders. I think if you have Reijnders in your team, you start him and you hope that he plays. Rodgers or Ndai. Depends what you can do with the 0.5. Diouf or Neco Williams in the starting lineup? Oh, that's a good question. I would go for Williams, I think. I would go for both. I mean, I definitely would just go for both. It would be someone else that would drop out. I suppose, actually, if you have... If I had Diouf here over Anderson, I'd really want to get Diouf in the team. I'm not sure on that. That's up to you. It really is. Evanilson versus Strand Larsen. That's a fun question. I really don't like the Strand Larsen pick. I think that is so boring. Going for a team that you know is going to come like 17th and getting their striker. Just boring. I know he's in a lot of experts teams. He's a good price. He's on penalties. He is nailed. He's boring. I just don't think Wolves are going to be very good. The fixtures are like so average as well. Bad fixture, maybe okay. We'll see what happens with them. Good fixture, but Everton are okay defensively. Bad fixture. So boring. Evanilson, if Evanilson didn't have this game tonight, I think he'd be in a lot more teams, because after Liverpool away, we've got Wolves at home, Spurs away, Brighton, Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham. That's good. He's 0.5 more, so again, it depends what you do with the 0.5. But I like that pick. I do like that pick. Did you consider having Frimpong in your team, especially with his high ownership? I have considered it. The minutes, again, are the risk, and that's why he's not doing as well here. Like, what happens if this guy just jumps into the team? I don't know what's going on with his injury. What happens? Game week 3, he jumps in. Again, like with Van Dijk, I think these fixtures aren't great from a defensive view. I mean, they're not bad. Really not that bad at all. 30%. Flipping hell. It's high. Maybe that's just a bad decision from me. I don't think it is, but whatever. Do you care about template teams in FPL? Does it bother you? It doesn't bother me, but I do care about ownership. A lot of people don't like the fact that I do. They think it's negative. However, I think it's a really important part of the game, effective ownership. If Joao Pedro scores a goal and I don't have him, half the game are getting his points. That's a lot. Whereas if someone like Strand Larsen scores a goal and I don't have him, that's not that many points effectively against me. It doesn't really matter that much. It's the same when people are talking about like not going with Anderson or going with Anderson. It doesn't matter. He's at 7% EO. He's not going to ruin your season. So if you do go with Reijnders, who's at a higher ownership, by the way, and Anderson does better, it doesn't matter that much. So go with Reijnders if you want to go with Reijnders, I think. I think being conscious of ownership is really important in affecting how you make your decisions. Thoughts on Liam Delap? I wouldn't have him in my team because I think Pedro's going to start and I don't think Delap's going to start. So, that's an easy one for me. Chase is going to bring in VVD game week 4. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think those are decent fixtures. I don't know. Chatting to my Liverpool mates or mates who are Liverpool fans, they just think it's going to be attack first, defense second. And they're going to be a lot of 4-2s, 3-1s, rather than 2-0s, 1-0s. I think maybe we saw that in the Community Shield. I'm happy to swerve Liverpool defence for now. Love the answer. Thank you. Love you too. Tell me your opinion about my team. Sanchez, Dubravka, Williams, Porro. It's looking quite familiar at the moment. Tarkovsky, nice change. Diouf and Dorgu. Okay, so you've gone with Dorgu and Diouf over a 4 million defender. Palmer, Wirtz, and Burmo, Anderson, Rutter, Watkins, Oh, no Salah. Wow. Watkins, Haaland, Guiu. Nice team. That's a really nice team. That's a nice, solid but aggressive team. I wouldn't change much about that at all. I think all those players are viable. I probably wouldn't go with Burmo though. Just think we don't know enough about Man United. He's also not going to be on penalties. I think that's important to say. I would probably... What would I do instead of Burmo? I would try and find the money for Bruno. I think if you want a Man United player, go for Bruno instead. And then maybe because you have those 4.5 defenders, drop Tarkowski to someone like an Anderson and rotate those 4.5 defenders. That's what I would do. But nice team. Donation from Lil BB. Nice name, bro. Thank you very much for the donation. Ndai or Cucurella, or Ndai and Cucurella, or Rogers, Tarkowski, Konza. Not quite sure. He's done exclamation mark there instead of a player. All those players are good players. They're all great. I can try and work out who you were thinking of. I can't really work it out, to be honest with you, mate, because it's just an exclamation mark. But they all those players look good to me. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of those players. Yeah, very solid. Very solid. If you haven't got your team rated yet, and if you haven't signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, guys, what are you doing? We've now under 2 hours till deadline. I think I'm going to stream for probably half an hour more. So it gives you half an hour to get your team rated. Sign up. The link is in the pinned comments. You need to sign up now. 50% off. You can see it top of the screen. If you want to win at FPL, get your team rated. Try and beat my team rating, 97%. Again, like I've shown my recommended transfers earlier by AI. And it's just annoying because I know this is the right move. This is what sometimes I don't like about Fantasy Football Hub. It tells me that I'm making a mistake, and it's a mistake I know I'm already making. I get it. Also, is it really 30 degrees today? That is hot. That's hot in London. Let me know as well. Any of you guys go into Fantasy... What is it called? Fantasy Football Fest or just Fest later? I will be there. So if you're going, let me know. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this move, but I know it improves my team rating. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If you guys think Mateta's better than Joao Pedro, well, that is what Fantasy Football Hub's predicted points is saying. Sign up to the site. You got to do it. Right. Few more questions. I dropped Giyu and got De Kuyper in. Team rating 97%. Like for like, that's good. Because it's the same price. Well, not like for like, but you know what I mean. It's the same price and you're getting a better player in. De Kuyper's better than Giyu, I think. But then you're having to sacrifice this. Like, who are you getting in here instead? Are you going up with an attacker and then down with a forward? Down with a defender? Maybe you've gone with a Stev. I don't know. It depends who the other players are there. It's not, you can't just do Giyu for De Kuyper, obviously. It'd be cool if you could. That'd be pretty weird, but yeah. What do I think about Harry Wilson? Not mentioned him yet on stream. He plays left wing. He's on set pieces. He's 5.5 million. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. Let's see how he's doing on all players. Midfielders even. Look at that. He's top of predicted points. He's top of predicted points. First 4. All midfielders under 6 million. Anderson's down there. Maybe he's better than Anderson. I'm sticking with this because I'm boring. But the predicted points are saying go with Wilson. So there we go. Richards or Anderson? I've gone with Anderson in my team. I think that's very, very close. I just worry slightly. I think Anderson is just more nailed to 100% being in the team. Richards wasn't in the team for the full season last year. He came into the team, was very good. He's obviously in the strongest team. I think if Gay goes, who knows what will happen there. That's my only sort of doubt. What do I think about Ahmad? I don't like Ahmad at all. He's in the wrong position. He's a midfielder, but he's going to be playing at right wing back. I know he was good at times last year, but for 6.5 million playing as a wing back, I don't like that. I also think that United fixtures are tough. Look at that. 4 of the first 5 are hard. That's why I'm not too keen on Bruno. I'm like, if he does really well throughout those fixtures, fine. I'll get him in game week 6, where the fixtures get better. What's my take on starting Bowen? Well, if you have Bowen in your team, you have to start him every week. I definitely would not be rotating a player like Bowen. Starting with Bowen, Yeah, I think he's been damaged by his position change to a forward. He even himself, I don't know if you guys saw this, said, "Why am I a forward? I don't play as a striker." He wasn't happy with that. But he's a good pick. He's predicted to do well. He's predicted to do as well as Joao Pedro. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Should you consider Bowen? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not? I think he's a good pick. Benching Evan Nielsen game week 1. That you could actually do. I probably would just play him. Who are you going to play ahead of him? That's my question. Like, it's not going to be Guiu. So it depends who's on your bench. Maybe actually you play someone like maybe if you have a Diouf, you bench. Like, so if I did this, right? And then say I had a Diouf. If I click, well, it's still saying to play Evan Nielsen. Maybe it's between Evan Nielsen and no, I'd play Evan Nielsen. I think he's got enough routes to points in Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool are going to be amazing defensively. I would still play him, but yeah, you could bench him for someone like an Anderson or someone like a Diouf. Let me change my team back because this is not my team, and I don't want people thinking this is my team. Can I just reset this? Will that go back to my team? Probably not because I made the transfers. It's a real shame. Oh, it did. There we go. Very handy. Very, very handy indeed. We're quite close to deadline now. Is everyone locked in? Is everyone locked in? Just got another member signing up. We're almost there. We are almost there. Diouf or Wan-Bissaka? Definitely Diouf. I think Wan-Bissaka, his ownership surely has come down quite a bit, hasn't it? Why can I not spell his... I need the little hyphen. That's what I'm doing wrong. Predicted points have come down as well. West Ham fans, is Walker Peters just not going to play ever? He was good last year. Have they just bought him to be backup? Maybe. I don't know. I do worry slightly that he could come into the team. I would go with neither, but Diouf looks fun at the start. Diouf is cheaper as well. He's not. They're all the same price. But is this my main lineup? Yeah, this is the team I'm going with. I'm not like trying to hide it or anything. I've had this team since maybe like 48 hours ago. I made a video on it, which was released this morning. I made it last night, or actually no, yesterday afternoon. It's been my team for a while. And I was happy to record it yesterday, release it today, just because I knew it would stay the same. If you want to see my logic on every single player in a bit more depth than what I'm giving right now, then go and watch that vid. Definitely worth doing. Another person signing up to Fantasy Football Hub, by the way. Again, I'll say it again. Get your team rated. See if you can beat my team. And then, if you're not at 100%, then you'll get a recommendation if you click this button up here. Can you see it? Just about AI transfers? Yes. And that will give you some recommendations for your team to improve it. Rory says that his team is nearly the same as yours. It is a pretty template team, but I actually really like this team. For quite a while in pre-season, I wasn't happy with my team, and I thought, is this going to be a year where I'm actually not happy with my team going into game week 1? But much like every other year, you do eventually find something that you like, and I do like this structure a lot. It's got good price points. It's got a mixture of fun, I think, in Verts, Saar, Joao Pedro. I find Anderson a fun pick because I've not been able to pick a player like him before. So I'm interested to see how a player like him does. Another one of you signing up. Ridiculous. And then it's got that sort of solid base as well. I'm getting inundated with messages from in my family chat right now. They're talking about who they're going to pick in their fantasy teams. Just watch the stream, guys. Or come in here. But yeah, there we go. Don't you think that Guiu price decreases soon? Yes, and I talked about this earlier. It may well. I don't care. I think he's the best 4.5 million forward. Points over pounds. Why isn't anyone picking Ekitike? Because if Isak does sign, it affects him a lot. You have to be prepared for him not to stay in the team. Like I know he's been bought for 80 mil. I don't think he's 100% nailed in the team, even if Isak doesn't sign. Like, is there a world in which Wirtz plays on the left, Gakpo plays up top, Salah plays on the right? Then you have that more similar midfield to last year. I think there is. It's unlikely, but like, is he going to play 90 every week? I'm not sure. I think it's more the Isak news, to be honest, which is putting people like me off. Also, he's a new player to the league. He's not at that elite level that Wirtz is at, which is why I'm happy to go with Wirtz. This is why I was happy to go with Haaland when he came into the league. Trafford. Why is everyone just suddenly spamming Trafford? Is Trafford a good play? Is Trafford a good pick? Trafford not playing. Again, I haven't even considered him for a second because there's no point. Like, again, I don't know if who's going to play out of Ederson and Trafford 100%, so therefore I don't go for them. We seem pretty confident here that he's not going to play, but I don't think Ederson's a good pick anyway at 5.5. Personally, I think might as well go with Sanchez or Sells. Ederson isn't in the squad. Oh, really? Oh, let me check this. Well, I believe you guys. I really do. Ederson's not in the squad. How can you already know that? Where are you getting this from? Oh, I see. He really isn't in the squad. This is from 2 hours ago. Well, wow. Ederson will not be part of Man City's squad for this weekend. Damn. Again, is the City defence with these fixtures 100% better than Chelsea's? No. So I'm happy not to go for Trafford. If, like, say this was Raya or something, well, if this was a better defense, I'd maybe be tempted. I still think Ederson could be reintegrated. I don't know what's going on with Donnarumma as well. Like, it feels like Donnarumma has to come to City if he's going to go anywhere. But there we go. Gyökeres or Watkins? This is a really nice question. Watkins for me, because we know what he is. Gyökeres, if you're an Arsenal fan, go for him. You won't find, and this is a good answer, I think, to your question, you will not find an experienced FPL manager that is consistently good at the game. You won't find one that has Gyökeres in their team ahead of Watkins. I think that answers your question. If you want to punt it, punt it. It's not a punt, but it is over someone like a Watkins. Who knows? I was saying this to my dad earlier. Like, if he hits 20 plus goals this season, Arsenal actually could win the league. They really could. But I don't think he is 100% nailed on for 90 minutes like Watkins is either. And let's just see how he does. Let's see how he does. All right, let's go 10 more minutes, guys, and then I'll leave things there. Once again, if you haven't signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, people are signing up every single minute. If you're not signing up, guys, you are missing out. And also, don't leave it until next game week to sign up. Like, this is what happens every season. People miss out on game week 1. And then when I make videos for game week 2 and I get the guests on and I look at my team and show the recommended transfers, etc., people go, oh my goodness, I need to be on this because I don't know what I'm doing with my team. So do it now rather than next week when you still have this deal and when you still can sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. And if you don't win your mini league, you'll get your money refunded. Do it now. Make sure you don't miss out on a game week. This is, in my opinion, one of the most important game weeks of the season. Making sure you get your team right immediately is so important because it's like you have a wild card, right? This is like one of the most fun weeks for me in the entire season because we don't know much at all, but it's like we have a wild card. It's fun. It's also like if you get a pick wrong, say like I get the Anderson pick wrong, I could be stuck with him because I might want to use my transfers on other players. And this is both Andersons, by the way. So like these 50-50 decisions you're making now are huge, which is why you don't want to get them wrong. Sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. What do I think of Semenyo? I think he's a good pick. I don't know. Am I a Liverpool fan? Absolutely not, mate. Liverpool are my least favourite team. Maybe in the world, actually. I'm happy to say that. Now, is that in part because I was once homophobically abused when I went to a cup final at Wembley by these just like ratty Liverpool fans? Yes, it is. but doesn't matter. I don't really like Liverpool. But I do like to not like Liverpool as well. I'm a Chelsea fan. Where can you watch my own streams? I don't do my own streams. They're on here. I don't do them. I like doing them on here. It's good fun. I have my own YouTube channel, which is completely different content to this. It's a Reddit-based channel. That's why my name is Redditor. I've got like 600,000 subscribers on that channel. The majority of you don't probably know about that, but that is what I do the majority of the time. And I do FPL for a bit of fun on Fantasy Football Hub. De Kuiper as a 4.5 million rotation. Yes. What is the downside of a Dingra over Anderson? There isn't one. These are very like 50-50 questions. Going for a premium keeper from the start. Any preference between David Raya or Alisson? Yeah, I'd go Raya. I think Arsenal are a better defense. What do you think of doubling up on the Spurs defense? I think it's too much. I don't know. I know like all the models are saying it. I can't show that our best AI team, but I think that might still be saying it. I think Van der Ven is good. Is really good value at 4.5. I'm happy with just one Spurs defender. Sells, I would have Sells in my team if I didn't have Sanchez. Say like there was oh, that's close actually. Say Gusto was fully nailed on and was 5 million. I would have Gusto and Sells over Sanchez and Williams. But I want to have two Forest defenders and some Chelsea defenders. So that's why I've done that. Murillo or Neco Williams to start with. It depends what you're doing with that 0.5. But I think Murillo will be one of the best defenders in the game this year. Like he has been in my team for a long, long time. Do the Nuno comments not worry you about heavy Forest? I don't know what the Nuno comments are. This is the problem when I'm streaming. I don't know. I can't really keep up with what's going on. What's happened? Can someone let me know in the chat? What do you mean by Nuno comments? Comments that they're the best defense in the world? Maybe. Do I think that Dubravka will play in Game Week 2? If yes, I would like to take the risk with Vicario, but I don't want to play with him against City in Game Week 2. I do think he'll play. I also think if you have to play Vicario in Game Week 2, it's not the end of the world. I think just play him. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Nuno said that Forest is far behind in terms of preparations. Yes, but you have to think critically. Like, he's not going to say we're really ahead in terms of preparations. He's sort of like just giving himself a bit of insurance in case things go wrong. He'll obviously want them to start the season very well. They're not that far behind in terms of physical preparations, by the way. They've played a lot of preseason games. They have no excuses. So I think he's just saying that to cover himself a little bit. Burnley fan here. I'd be very shocked if he's not playing by Game Week 1. Exactly. He's been in training, I think. The flag's gone. He's gonna start, isn't he? They've got rid of Trafford. They've got Dubravka in. Yeah, he'll play. And if he's playing, and Guyu's playing Game Week 2, I'm gonna bench boost in Game Week 2. I'm very confident about that. Why Sarr over and die early game weeks? I just prefer Sarr as a pick. I think, as I've said, I think the fixtures are actually all right for Palace from an attacking point of view. Make sure you update your actual FPL team. You know what? I'm going to do that now. I don't think it is the same, but you're right. I'm too focused on the My Team tool, which is just much better to actually do your team with than the official game. I hope that one day we can find a way where I don't have to touch the actual website ever, and I can just do everything on here because it's so much nicer. Also, if you guys don't know, look at this. Like, you can go through each and every game week and see how your team looks. So I can go to Game Week 2 on here, click Optimize, go down here, chip strategy, set it as Game Week 2, save it, and then it's like it's set up for me to bench boost in Game Week 2. Then when I do my recommended transfers for Game Week 1, it has that in mind. Look, it knows that I'm bench boosting in Game Week 2. That is just so much better than the official site, don't you think? I do. And look, I can just see how my bench boost is going to look. Not bad. Porro away at City. He'll be playing right wing back. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Again, if you're not signed up to Fantasy Football Hub, if you don't want to do this with your own team, then I think you're missing out. I'm a visual learner. Seeing all this and seeing how my team's going to look for game week 3, seeing if I want a bench boost potentially in game week 5, that's how the bench is going to look. That is so handy for somebody like me. Sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. The link is in the pinned comment on the live stream. It's also down below in the description. I'm just checking my actual team now on the website, and goodness me, does it look fantastic. I might win it all this year, guys. I really might win it all. All right, the team's locked in. It's what you can see on screen. It's not changing. It really isn't changing at all. Let's do 5 more minutes, people. 5 more minutes of genuine FPL joy and 50-50 questions or just general questions, and then I'll round things off. Thank you all for spending some time with me on Deadline Stream, by the way. It's been a lot of fun. Sorry. So Nuno said, is a quote from Maglik. Thank you very much. We are very... Should I do it in his voice? Seems a bit risky. We are very, very far from where we should be. We are very far in terms of preparation, in terms of planning, in terms of squad. So we're all very worried. The plans that we had didn't get through. The preparation in terms of the squad was not ideal. We have players working here that know they're going to leave on loan. We have a major problem. Again, read between the lines there. He's just making himself... He's just giving himself some insurance. That's all he's doing. Managers complain about transfers and the lack of them all the time. How often do you hear a manager go, "Oh, I'm so happy with the team. We don't need to. I don't want any more signings." Like, it's very, very rare. So yeah, I mean, look, they're not in the best place right now. Fixtures breed form, though. I think they'll be fine. Is the optimizing tool free? I don't know. Go and test it. Go and test it. I actually don't know. I think it is. Yeah. Well, you can get your team rated for free. So go and test it. If it isn't, let me know in the comments. I don't know because I'm signed up to the site, but I don't know. Go and test it. If not, just sign up. It costs as much as a coffee per month. You can afford that to do well at FPL. I'm sorry, you just can. Triple Forest is mad, mate. Is it? Is it though? It might be. I just look at the first 6 games and I think they're great, and then I can reassess. Maybe it's mad. I don't know. I don't think Forest are going to be as bad as everyone suddenly thinks they're going to be. They'll be worse. Maybe I've got that wrong. I have also picked all these players individually, by the way. I know it's Triple Forest, but I've not gone like, oh, I love Forest, therefore I'll pick 3 players. I think he's the best 5 million defender. I think he is really, really important, Murillo, this year. I think Anderson is the best 5.5, although it's boring. I just think he is. What can I say? Marmoush, too risky a pick. For me, yes. For you, it depends on your play style. You have 3 fewer than me. Fair enough. Fair enough. They were shocking season before last and looked shocking back end of last season. But they look really good for the majority of last season. It just depends how you want to look at it. They overperformed, yeah. Murillo, I just really like as a pick. Again, if they had middling fixtures, I wouldn't have them as much. I'd probably just have Murillo. But look at the first 4 of the first 6 are so good. Clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet. Clean sheet? Probably not. But I think they're good. Thoughts on Wood? I love a little bit of Wood. I really do. And I say that as a straight man. He's a good pick. Why do you keep asking goalkeeper, Graham? What do you want to know? Who's the best goalkeeper? Sorry, I'm on the wrong game week here, but I think the best goalkeeper is... I think the best goalkeeper sells, personally. Maybe I'm just too hot on Forest. I don't know. I've gone with Sanchez. Why Murillo versus Milenkovic? The reason for this is because he is much better for defcons. He's better for bonus points. And I think that those 2 things are more predictable than attacking returns. So Milenkovic got, I think, 5 goals last year. It's a lot for a centre-back. It could happen again, but I think that those points from Murillo are more repeatable and more predictable than Milenkovic is. I think they're very close. Like, if you look at the predicted points, I think Milenkovic is above Murillo. So, yeah, there's no reason to go with one over the other. Like, this is why you have to go with one. It's up to you. What's my take on Doku as a final question before I end the stream? What a question to finish things off with. Let's just have a little look at City. That's my take on Doku. Predicted points right down there. Don't know if he's going to play every game. Look at all these players in my team, right? They're going to play every game. They're going to start every game. Maybe with the exception of Joao Pedro. But I still think he'll start 90% of games. Everyone else is going to start every game. That's how I play, especially start of the season. Maybe it's boring. I don't know. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for the stream. I've been live for over 2 hours now. So thank you for staying with me. I need to 100% make sure that my own team is fixed. But before I go, one last shout out. An hour and a half to the deadline now. Literally dozens of you. I think we might be close to hundreds of you that have signed up during this stream, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't yet signed up, one more time, look at the top of the screen. If you want to win at FPL and get 50% off your Fantasy Football Hub membership, then sign up now. You've got an hour and a half before the deadline. You can find out your team rating. You can get your AI predicted points, recommended transfers even. You can get your predicted points for your whole team. I'm at 68.7. Try and beat that. Good luck. You can see the best team according to AI for Gameweek 1 right up until the deadline. You can also see our expert team reveals. Look at these names, by the way. We've got Bakar in there. We've got the best manager of all time, Ben Crellin. We have last year's winner, Lovro, the year before's winner, Jonas. Gian's there, Holly's there, Fergie, who was on on the stream earlier as well. All their teams are live, like as in that their final teams are going to be revealed, if not already now, over the next hour and a half on the website. Sign up to that. And then we have all the sort of the stats, everything you could ever want. We have a whole stats section here on defending, which is all about the new DEFCON points. So if you're not sure what's going on there, look, I saw all players from last year by their defensive contributions. Those are the points they would have got. And you can see 100. Look at that. I mean, just if you want to know any player and how they do for DEFCONs or any stat, get signed up to Fantasy Football Hub. Thank you very much, guys, for listening and watching. It's been a genuine joy. But yeah, for now, that's going to do it. Good luck for Game Week 1. And we will be back. Well, I'll be back next week, early next week, to assess how it went, assess how my team did, assess how the guest teams did as well. And yeah, we will go from there. Good luck. Catch you on the next one. Sign up to Fan.